welcome to Real Reviews. This week, we have The Invisible Man.
Ooh.
Another reboot to the dark universe.
I was going to ask you, is this considered a Universal monster movie?
Yes, but I think they've just given up on the whole let's tie them all together thing. I think they're just going to take separate characters and put their own spin on it.
Unfortunately, a Universal cohesive Marvel or monster movie like Marvel would be very cool, but we know for a fact that Dracula Untold was a big stinker.
Yeah.
The Mummy wasn't well received. What can you do?
Well, you hand the reins over to Jason Blum and Blumhouse.
Blumhouse is awesome.
Yeah, and you get a good movie.
Man.
I'm not going to call this horror.
No.
Because it's
thriller.
not. This
thriller
is a suspense thriller, yes. Yep. Elizabeth Moss plays a girl who's in a very abusive relationship, physically and mentally.
Yep.
And right at the beginning of the movie, she escapes.
Yeah.
And her partner at the time is some super genius optics.
He leads the world in like creating like new optic technology.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So she escapes him, gets a letter in the mail a few weeks later saying he died. Goes to see a lawyer saying, well, you're going to get $5 million. He wants you to.
The lawyer was the brother.
Was the brother.
Yeah.
Was his brother.
Yeah.
And saying, like, yeah, he committed suicide, you're going to get the money.
Yep.
But all this weird stuff starts happening.
Yeah.
And she's convinced.
Unexplained stuff.
She's convinced he has something to do with it.
Yeah. So that is definitely the premise. Now, like, the suspenseful, the thriller parts, it happened to both of us.
Yeah.
There are scenes in this movie where she's looking at a door frame or she's looking at a part of the room and obviously there's nothing there. But you as a viewer are so tuned in. So like you stop breathing and you're waiting for that jump scare to happen and it never happens.
You're waiting for anything. You're waiting for a sound. You're waiting for a move. You're like, is he there?
Right.
Should she be scared? This scared right now? Maybe she's just going crazy. You don't know what's going on.
So the first half of the movie, you're in her shoes. Like you feel for her. The way that it's filmed and the way that it plays on your mind, you're definitely feeling what she's feeling. And then there's this little switch that happens where all of a sudden she gets some information. She decides, you know what, now's the time to fight back. And as soon as she decides to fight back, there's that switch in the audience again where you're not scared anymore because you're still in her shoes and you're like, yeah, I've had enough. Let's fight back.
But also the good part about the second half is usually as you're watching a movie, I know I do it, I think everybody does it, you kind of go through the future like, oh, this is probably what's going to happen. This is probably what's going to happen.
Yes,
Twice in the end, I was like, close, like there's about just over the halfway mark. I was like, what?
Yeah.
And then closer to the end, like, what?
The end part, I looked at you and I said this, and it was.
It definitely surprised. If you wouldn't say anything, I would have been surprised.
Yeah.
It would have taken me to that point to try to figure out what's actually going on, and they did a really good job with that. I really enjoyed when they throw in a couple curveballs that actually surprises you in this day and age, which is really nice.
And I feel like the ending where it felt like it was gonna wrap, and then there's another like extra 15 or 20 minutes. That's what you need. That extra 20 minutes really just wraps up the movie to like a satisfying ending.
Yeah.
I'm glad they didn't end it where you think it's gonna end. And
I wish it was a little bit shorter, but not from the ending. Just like maybe like 15 or 10 minutes somewhere in like the middle or the beginning, just because it is 2 hours long, and some parts I felt were a little long and unnecessary. But for the most part, this was a great show.
Yeah, you know, this is the first time Universal monster movie that we enjoyed it.
Yeah,
and you know what? It had like, I think it cost $7 million to make. It's crushing right now. It's making all money, which is awesome. You want to see that for both Blumhouse.
It doesn't matter how much a movie costs. It just has to be good.
Good, that's right.
The fact that it was such a good suspenseful thriller, had you on the edge of your seat for most of it. Elizabeth Moss rocked it in this performance. This movie deserves an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I agree completely. 8 out of 10. This was one where I left the theater with a little bit of a headache because I wasn't breathing for a lot of it. The headache is nothing like negative on the movie. It's because it was so suspenseful, you forget to breathe at some parts. So
this is a good one for everybody, except little kids, of course. But it's got that feel that everybody will enjoy this movie. So go check out The Invisible Man. And check out our Facebook page, and you can find out how you can get entered to win $30 to Original Joe's. At Original Joe's, everyone's welcome, even minors.